What's good, beautiful people? I'm the Black Thumb, and this is my man's
Ayati.
And welcome to OK Bet Podcast, the podcast where two homies come together to catch up and talk about life, food, music, sports, entertainment, and so much more.
Yes, sir. This podcast is for the casual human being. So if it's wild, if it's trending, or it just makes you say, okay, bet, we're going to talk about that. And with that said, let's just jump into the show. Come on.
Okay. So today we got a smattering of things to talk about today, and we'll see how much of that we get to. But it feels like y'all enjoyed us kind of giving a weekly update on what's been going on with us from our last episode. So we're going to keep the party going. So Ayati, let's start with you, bro. How was your week? What was the highlight of your week?
Highlight of my week was going hiking last weekend.
Okay.
So I guess this will be a being black outside is wild report update. So me and Ashley went on a hike in the Angeles National Forest. Ooh,
do you know the name of the hike?
Let me look. I did write it down this time. Thank God.
So we can let the people know.
It was called Fall Creek Falls via Fall Creek Fire Road. Such a weird ass name.
What? Like, is this like a riddle? Like,
yeah, man. But it's a waterfall, so I love waterfall hikes. So we was juiced, we was excited, drove up there. Took about an hour and 5 from Long Beach. So fucking 5 freeways though. It had me jump on the fucking 710, the 5, the fucking 101, the 2, and some other shit to go like Tahunga, go behind Tahunga, and then the 2 of the fucking Angela. It's a lot.
So what you're saying is you had to work hard to get there.
Well, most good hikes you gotta work hard, and that's usually why I like them, because they're not easy to get to. So I gave this hike a 3
out of how many
trails out of 5.
Okay.
I gave it a 3, not because the hike was trash. It's just because it's not well kept right now, so it's overgrown. And if you're not an experienced hiker, you're gonna have a hard time. Like, you need to know how to dodge bushes, and it was some weird like tick bugs. I don't know if these motherfuckers were spiders, ticks, but you put your bag down, you lift that shit up, it was these fucking spider looking things on that shit. So you need some kind of spray for that. And then after all this work with all this overgrown shit, it's just you climbing through shit. Get to this waterfall.
Was you getting itchy, bro?
Waterfall was little. Oh no,
was you getting itchy?
I
walking through that tall grass.
I wear overalls, brother. I'm in my uniform, so I don't give a fuck how hot it is. I'm always wearing overalls. I don't care.
I'm in my hiking uniform.
I'm in hiking uniform. So I'm ready. As I said, I'm good for this. So we was adventuring, but the stream was the tightest part.
Okay.
There's a stream in there, and it's like fish. I'm always looking for frogs, and this is where the update kind of gets random. So, I got a pet frog named Murphys. Murphys became my little pet. I became a father of Murphys on accident because I couldn't find a frog.
Correct.
I went to like 4 hikes on our last episode, couldn't find one.
Yep.
So I bought this frog, and he's been my little buddy. So we was on this hike, and on the way back, this trail is like overgrown. So we trying to like figure out like, damn, which route we went. And Ashley was like, nah, I think it's this way. So she went across the other side of the stream, but she started to sink. And then a fucking frog leaped at her, and she don't fuck with none of this nature shit. She freaking out like, oh my God, what the fuck is a frog? And I'm like, oh, where? Frog. So I cross over there. She get up out of there, and I'm looking for it, and I'm starting to sink like 8-10 inches into the mud. I'm like, oh, this shit is deep.
In that quicksand, low key.
But I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. And it started smelling weird. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to find this frog. I'm looking. And he finally leaped, got him on my jar, put his ass in my backpack, hiked all the way back home. So the hike was exciting to me. The whole hike just changed. And I'm like, fuck all this shit. I got a frog finally. So I think I got a little buddy. Name was Mercury. I already got the name.
Mercury.
Mercury.
So Murphys and Mercury. All right.
Yep. Those are going to be the buddies. Put this motherfucker in the tank. Memphis looking all weird and shit. Look the fuck in here. They look like they both nervous. They look like they're gonna be okay. They just hanging in there. But I forget that like Memphis is a nocturnal animal. He becomes a fucking predator at night. Like, I don't know what happens. I just put shit in the tank, and by morning shit's gone. He right back in his little corner. Everything, no matter how much I put in there, shit gone. And like sometimes I come in there in the middle of the night and I just catch him in different spots. But usually like he just watching shit. But I guess he in here like a hunter. This motherfucker ate that frog, man. He ate Mercury, ate his ass, just ate that motherfucker. And I was told, Ashley had already told me on the internet.
Cannibalism.
He cannibalized that motherfucker, man. She had already told me, like, on the internet says do not mix species. And I'm like, nah, I don't believe nothing on the internet.
I mean, it is like some alpha.
They look exactly the same. Just one tiger stripe, one green. You
Nah,
are
bruh.
clearly a frog.
No.
It's like me seeing another human being will eat this little motherfucker because he's smaller. Like, what the fuck?
I mean,
it was weird. Like,
yeah,
he ate that motherfucker. So I haven't fed him in a week.
In a kill or be killed situation, in a it's you or it's me situation, I don't care how big you are. I'm not gonna go quietly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he just disappointed me. I was real. I'm like, he knew he did wrong. He just looked like he was in punishment. Like, I knew I shouldn't have ate that.
He put himself in the corner.
He just looked like I knew I shouldn't have ate that frog, but I couldn't help myself. Like,
yeah, it's just
I'm just gonna eat it.
It's his genetic code playing out in real time.
I knew he wasn't hungry. I had just fed that motherfucker the day before, and I put bugs in there just in case. So he ate all that shit. He ate the crickets, the roaches, and the frog. In one sitting. So
here's the deal. Memphis was just standing on business, bro. like let's just call it what it is. Like he was like, nah, bro, this is mine.
This is my tank.
You're not welcome here.
This is my tank. Only thing he don't fuck with is the fish. He just sitting and watching them shit. But apparently he's like a arboreal animal. So he loves trees.
Okay.
They like moist environments when you will not get in the water. So I think he just watches the fishes. He know they're there, but he ain't getting in that goddamn water. You're like, fuck that. It just sits on the edge and just watch the fishes all night. Like, it's weird. But ain't no fish disappeared yet.
He ain't trying to take a dip?
They been there for 2 weeks. He just ain't touching none of that shit. But that frog was in there for 30 fucking minutes when the lights went out.
Gone. And that was it. Bro, okay.
Gone.
So this is what you need to do.
I'm gonna get a separate tank this time.
Nope. No. What you need to do, well, I mean, yes, if you want more than one
or
frog,
get a little bigger,
you should get a separate tank. But I'm talking about, bro, this is a content creation opportunity. Bro, you can get you a little night camera, little night vision camera, and put random things in it and see what Memphis do.
Because when I turn on the light, it's like a peekaboo situation. Because like, you see that spot, you ever tell your coworkers in that same spot?
Yes.
When the night light goes off, it's like clockwork. And if you just come in, if I'm going in to get some snacks out the refrigerator, I turn on the light, it's like he get caught.
He'd be like, oh.
And it's like he just immediately
got that guilty look on his face.
It'd be a random ass place. Like last night, he holding onto the bamboo, just hanging on it, looking at the fish. It was weird as fuck. I turned on the light, I'm like, what the fuck? And he just looking at fish, like right next to hanging onto a bamboo. Big ass frog hanging on a bamboo. One time he just like hanging on some other shit. It just, and you can see the damage because it's like he leave dirt trail. I got an active terrarium, so I got dirt and stuff in there. So he leaves dirt wherever the fuck he been at. There's dirt all over the fucking fish tank. So I know where he been at. Like, you been here, you been there, you just been on shit, and then right back in your spot when the daylight come on. So yeah, this motherfucker's a predator at night. Very active at night. Frog is in there probably playing music,
bro.
You know, dancing and shit. I don't know what it could be doing. I think it's like that old cartoon where like you look at the frog and it's like ribbit, ribbit. And then when he not looking, the damn frog put the top hat on and start dancing and shit. That's the
Warner Brothers frog?
That motherfucker, like, hey, they don't be doing nothing. And then once you're not looking at her dancing, they got a suit on.
To the WB.
This might be showing my age, but that's what that damn frog is doing.
The WB frog?
Yes, that was based on, I guess, reality. This is exactly what this frog does, man.
That's hilarious.
So he in there wilding, but yeah, he ate that motherfucker, man. Just
dang, man.
Ate his buddy. Ate his tank mate.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, Mercury.
Murphy said, I run the block.
But it's like The Simpsons to me. So, you know, like, it was like, what was the name of that damn dog they had? Santa's Little Helper. It was like number one, bro. Number two.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I ain't watched The Simpsons, man.
You gotta go back and watch
I wasn't allowed.
Yeah, bro. You gotta go back and watch another episode.
Simpsons was off limits.
It's classic. So they had a dog. It was called Santa's Little Helper. But it was always named 1, 2, or 3, like based on if the dog died. So if I get another frog, it's gonna be Mercury too, you know.
Mercury the second.
Mercury
Junior.
Or just get a bigger one and let it get a little bigger. But
well, then you putting Memphis at risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because then it's, you know.
But these frogs look at this motherfucker aggressive. Apparently,
I mean, clearly.
He don't give a fuck.
It's from Australia. I thought Australians were friendly.
Nah,
I guess not them frogs.
They got big spiders, big everything.
Yeah, they do.
If he survived in a forest.
You got to be tough to survive anywhere in Australia.
This other frog had leopard print. I'm like, okay, that's gonna be tight. He's gonna be with the smoke. Got eaten by a basic green frog.
You brought the frog legs home for me, Daddy. You brought the frog legs home from me. You know, you're like, ooh, she was tender. Like that. It was tender. My goodness.
What if he don't want to eat nothing else? I haven't fed the damn thing in a week.
Put you in a bind,
I
bro.
haven't fed him since then, so I'm like, fuck,
Man, that's
he got a taste for like frog now. He like, yo, I'm not eating nothing else. He gave me something delicious.
That's got to be a tough conversation at the pet store, bro. You walk in the pet store, they like, you back again?
I told her, she was like, yeah, it happens. They're like, yeah, they eat them. It's like, but they told me to eat fish, so I got some fish for him. I'm gonna see if he'll eat the fish. I'm gonna put it in the bowl this time.
Dang.
They say it can't be in the water. You ain't getting in the water. But if you put it in that little water bowl, you get in there and eat that shit. So I'm like, all right, we'll try it.
That's funny.
But no more frogs. But yeah, that's my update, bro. What about you?
So yeah, man. Highlight of our of my week was wifey and I. We went to an intro pottery class here in Long Beach at Clay on First.
Okay,
highly recommend. Really.
Should have brought the pot.
Well, it's in process.
Oh, it's still cooking.
Yeah,
it's still cooking.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through it.
Go ahead.
So the studio is it's small. It's quaint. But we took an intro pottery class, and it was $80 per person, which is pricey, but it's a 2-hour class, and you get to you get to make 2 things. You get one of them for free, like it comes with your admission to the class. They also will stain it and fire it up for you, so it becomes like your own piece of art that you can take home with you, and then you can pay for the other one, pay an extra $8. So I paid for both of mine. I was like, man, I want mine.
$88.
So $88 for 2 pieces and a
China.
And a 2-hour experience where you learn how to basically work with pottery. And so this was really sparked out of like my wife wanting to like lean into trying new things. And this is something that like I've kind of low key wanted to try for a little while. My wife took a class in undergrad. And she said that she learned more in this 2-hour class than she did in an entire semester.
That speaks volumes to your instructor.
Correct. And so I want to give a huge shout out to Mark. Mark was amazing. Super, super dope. Really great teacher. And he was also what I really liked about Mark as an instructor was there was no pressure, right?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes you get in these situations and our own like insecurities and, for some people perfectionism, some people anxiety. They're like, oh, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's art. Like this is an opportunity for you to explore, to test the boundaries, to push the edge. And he's like, yeah, if you mess up, we'll get you started again. It's all good. So that aspect of it was really great. But yeah, man, I made me a little mug, you know what I'm saying? And then I made me a little like baby vase.
Okay.
And so when they're done, I'll bring them back.
So they cooking.
They're literally cooking right now because your boy was cooking too.
How long does that cook?
So it takes 4 to 6 weeks because they're
what the fuck?
Because remember they do these classes every day, so you're like in a rolling line.
It ain't like they gotta cook for 6 weeks. I thought this was in there cooking for 6 weeks. I'm like, damn, that's a bunch of pot take.
No. That's just the turnaround time.
A backlog of folks
because they have a lot of volume. Because it was like. Our class was full and it was 8 people in that class. It was like 8 wheels in that class.
That's
but
16
man, it
items
was
right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just on one night.
Correct. And so, but it was just like so fun to like play in. I mean, I know it's clay, it's not technically dirt, but just to like get your hands dirty, to build something, to sculpt something, to make something. Even though it looks fucked up, like, you know what I'm saying? You be like,
your shit was fucked up?
You'll be the judge of that when you see it. You know what I'm saying? You and the people will be the judge of that when you see it.
100.
I know. I expect nothing less. Like this ain't it, bro.
This ain't where. Yeah, this ain't your strong point, brother. Go back. Yeah, we put the plants in the pot. Don't make the
we
pot.
don't make the pots.
Don't make the pots.
We put the plants in the pots.
But I'm sure it was tight.
But no. So it was a really great experience. So if you are looking for something just like really cool to do as a solo thing, but also like as a couple thing or with a group of friends, I absolutely highly recommend you going to Clay on First and doing they do like intro classes, but then they also do like a series classes where you learn how to like basically build it, but then you come back to learn how to fire it and stain it and all of that. Like, so you can do it in a series. And then they also have like specialty nights, like couples nights and some other nights. Okay. So make sure y'all check them out. And if you are going to schedule a course, try to work with my man's Mark, because he is super dope and really great. So yeah, man, that was the highlight of my week. It was just an opportunity for me and my wife Chelsea to connect and for us to do something kind of out of our out of our comfort zone, but yeah, it's definitely something that
Did they pull you to Long Beach?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, bro,
First Street kind of bummy a little bit.
But you know what? That block looked like you in.
Yeah,
it's
First Street part. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But that block is like a bunch of boutiques and little shops. So it's that little area is on the come up, but it is adjacent to some of the shenanigans.
Was it close to the taco spot? Did you see like a pink taco?
There was like a creme de la creme like a few doors down. There was a like kind of like
visually see where
a knick-knack store that was next door. But anyway, but highly recommend Clay on First. I feel like it's a great little date night spot to do.
I'm trying to bring the world to Long Beach, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know. So yeah, man. So that was the highlight of the week.
Clay on First Pottery. That shit's a half a mile away from me.
Yeah, it's skatable
right
for you.
Oh yeah, right there on Linden. Yeah, I didn't roll down that motherfucker.
That area was really dope. And Clay on First was great. So highly recommend. And yeah, and so that was the highlight of the week for me and us, bro.
We should have went to that bar. I think that bar across the street from this place is a union guy on that bar.
Okay,
it's a cash only bar.
We saw. We was like,
that motherfucker cool.
Okay,
what's it called?
Right.
It's a weird name.
It is a weird name, but
it's a good spot.
It looks
it's a
like
good spot.
Okay, well, I'm glad to
apparently
know.
The owner is a local 11 union electrician. We ran to that motherfucker after the end of the day because he saw our shirts and shit. So we was talking to him. He from back in the 70s and shit. I guess he stacked a bunch of money working as an electrician, opened a bar, and just kept the bar. But it's cash only.
Yeah.
Everybody stick their union stickers in there and shit. But it's a cool little spot. Like, it's eclectic as fuck. You know, in there, it'd have been right up your alley. You're like, oh, shit, because he got, like, old chandeliers and shit and, like, a boat. Like, you just collect random shit that's hanging in there.
Okay.
So you'd have liked it. I think I know where you at. Now I know where you at.
Yeah, but, this won't be the last time we go. So now we know what the vibe is. We'll probably grab a drink when we either before or after.
All right.
So, yeah, man. So now I know, so now we want to talk a little music now.
Yeah, let's do music. We haven't did music in a while.
Yeah, so Ayati, what you got for us today?
I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but YG dropped some music about 2 weeks ago. A song called Hollywood featuring Shoreline Mafia. YG is a big West Coast, I would say at this point, icon. Like, he's been doing it for so long that I would consider him like almost OG status when it comes to just West Coast music. He's been doing it for so long. He's just a household name when it comes to West Coast artists. So he dropped a track with this to me is a newer group. Shoreline Mafia is pretty much like a local West Coast group. It's a bop. Like, that's my review of it would be like the song go hard. Like, it's your typical West Coast drum kind of pattern. Topic is West Coast bullshit. Like,
it is.
Probably the typical gang banging bullshit.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe it.
It ain't nothing super deep.
The content.
Yeah, it's like they just talking about from like certain streets to Sunset and Sunsets in Hollywood, and then like you probably talking from like Rosecrans and probably some shit that West Coast people get, but everybody else like and it just the bop make you go oh yeah, you know. So everybody else is bopping to it, but I don't know. Overall, I first heard the song at the skating rink, actually.
Okay.
So I was like, what the fuck is this?
Did you hear the explicit version or the clean version?
They play that
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's adult night for us.
Oh, okay.
When I go.
Okay.
So it's like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we're all grown here.
We grown. So the shit came on, I'm rolling and shit. Like, let me pull out my Shazam real quick. I'm rolling, trying to see what song this is. I'm like, whoa, YG got some new shit? So that was the first time I heard it, and they've been consistently playing that motherfucker. So every week, that shit been getting played. So it's popping. And from what I'm hearing, it's like it's starting to be trending on like social media, and it's really starting to be a big song. There is a mention of Joey Badass and in some of the lyrics, but just so folks know, it ain't trying to restart the beef. From what I hear from the good folks at Effective Immediately, from their podcast, they was always like hinting to there was an artist that was going to drop a song during the Joey Badass back and forth, like little beef that's been going on for about a month. And they was waiting. It was an artist that was supposed to drop, but they had insider information. They didn't want to say anything. So they was able to, once the track finally dropped, they was able to say, this was the track we were talking about, but the beef is over. So don't think this is trying to restart it. This was during the heat of the beef.
The height of it.
YG was going to respond, but apparently the track was going to be so big, they didn't want to just use it as a beef track, which now we see why. They like, this shit was going to be wasted on a beef, and this song is actually a bop. This shit is a single that's catching so much traction, and it brings back together a group, because Shoreline Mafia got OGZ, and I don't know who the other dude is, but OGZ is the guy who I've been knowing before Shoreline Mafia.
Because they separated for a minute.
I think it's like 4 of them motherfuckers, only 2 came back.
It initially was 4.
So this ain't technically Shoreline Mafia.
Yeah, this is my limited Wikipedia search right before we did this.
This is like if Migos split up and just like only 2 of them came back. That's not the Migos. So I don't know what's going on, but it's just, I guess people are celebrating that the group's back together, but in my mind, like, that ain't the full group. Yeah. So it is what it is.
But I mean, that's kind of like Destiny's Child, though. You know what I'm saying? Like Destiny's Child, they started at as the original 4, the core 4, and then it ended up being the core 3, and that third was different than the original core 4. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't trigger me now, because like I feel some type of way about that original Destiny's Child. I still think that's the only Destiny's Child.
That is Destiny's Child.
Especially what's her name? What's her name that was dating Slim Thug? Latoya. Yeah, Latoya Luckett. Latoya, that's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my.
We all remember Latoya.
Yeah,
that was your one.
So when they broke the group up and came back without her, I said, "What is this? What is this? This ain't Destiny Child. What is this shit?" So yeah, it kind of rocked me the wrong way. So I don't know how. I'm not a Shoreline Mafia like die hard. So I can understand how some people probably feel if they remember
if they're a Shoreline Mafia purist in that regard.
And they short a couple members, they probably feel some type of way. So I can understand that this ain't. They should have called it something else. Like, should have just said each person's name. But I'm pretty sure the Shoreline Mafia was such a big group, they had to use that to kind of shore up. Even I think OGZ got a name for himself though. It's the other dude that's kind of like, maybe.
I think it's like Fane X or something like that.
Like I said,
I did a very limited search into their background before we did this.
That's neither here nor there. Just get a track list, and that's pretty much the main point. Like, you're trying to make from the review, that it's a good track, but it does. It kind of makes me like think about some things.
Yeah. So what is it? What does this track in particular bring up for you that you want to discuss right now?
All right. So this is thing, and especially for West Coast folks, but just being Black in general, I have a strong, I guess you would say, opinion on. First off, just the use of the N-word, because I just don't use it. But also people who aren't Black using it, like just comfortably or just out there all the time. And it's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And it seems like lately there's been like an uptick, especially after the Kendrick beef. Like, folks, it's just the West Coast came together. So it's like now everybody like, okay, green light, we all gonna use it. And I'm just like, I know we got bigger fish to fry, but is this the only one bothering? Am I the only one bothered by this shit? Like, am I the only one be like, kind of like cringy, like, when I hear it?
Yeah.
When I see someone who ain't Black say the N-word, I be like, what the fuck? And I think it's a context kind of thing too. It's like situational. Like, I'm the type of person that's gonna speak up. Like, it is what it is. I mean, I remember one time, this is when we were staying in my other condo over on Long Beach Boulevard. There used to be this old Rite Aid. I'm in there buying something, but I'm waiting in line. Rite Aid used to have these long ass lines. So I'm in here waiting. And it was like these young high school dudes, none of them Black, and they all just dropping N-word. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, oh my God. And that's why I say it's situational. Young kids usually don't know how to take criticism. So it's 6, 7 of these motherfuckers. I'm by myself, and I could clearly try to reprimand some kids, and then these motherfuckers just feel some type of way and try to jump my ass. But it depends also on what kind of tack you got. But me, I just do shit. So I was like, yo, bro, like, can y'all just stop saying that N-word like that? And I just gave him some context too, historical context. Like, yo, bro, the word's an offensive word. This is the original word. And it's just like, with y'all saying it just so willy-nilly, you could be offending folks, man. I came to that. And it was super cool. Like, the way they responded, it was a nice, positive interaction. When it's like, oh, no, sorry. Because I'm older than them. They could tell. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, OG. So that was a good way that it went. There's also situations where that shit could have went left. Like, who the fuck are you talking to? You know how young kids could be nowadays. 100%. So
buck on you.
But also I had a coworker as well at a job site, one of my apprentices. Man, he was saying it a lot. So I had to pull him to the side, like, yo, bro, don't say that shit. Like, and I gave him the historical context.
Also to say that shit at work is wild.
But me and him, cool.
I mean,
so
I get that.
I think we had been working for a while, so I think he got really comfortable with me.
I understand.
And you know how my energy is. People get very comfortable around me.
I understand, but it's still like, I get that being in a trade sometimes is like the culture is a little bit different. Yeah. It's closer to like a professional sports locker room culture than it is like business corporate culture.
Yeah.
But that's still kind of like a wild wild thing, a wild term to use at work.
Especially with your J-Dub. So it's like, you're an apprentice and this is your J-Dub. So, but...
What's a J-Dub?
Oh, journeyman wireman.
Okay.
So I'm a journeyman electrician. So apprentice
meaning you're superior.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I mean, I'm certified, took my test. I didn't in my time.
I wish I would be using the N-word with my supervisor.
Right? And I'm old. And I'm like, but I think I got a young spirit. People don't even be like, you 40? They don't be tripping like
same.
So this dude young, so but it wasn't even an issue. Like once we talked about it, he's like, oh yeah, my bad, bro. I just I listen, he from LA, been around a bunch of black folk, he listened to nothing but hip hop. So it's just when he's comfortable, this was happening. And it's like I get it because I think that's how I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm in a comfortable environment, I use the N-word, but that's when I was really young. And as I got older and I got more, I call it being cerebral. I just don't feel comfortable using the words. I don't say it at all.
Yeah,
like I don't know if you.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. I know you will just say N-word.
And you know what
in its place.
I just say it.
You genuinely don't use the word at all.
Just because I feel like it should be bleeped out. And because I feel like that gives me no cognitive dissonance when I call somebody else out. It ain't like I'm back here, even though I truly believe only black people should be able to say it.
Yeah.
That's how I really feel.
I mean,
but I don't want nobody to say it. I don't even want black people saying it.
Yeah.
I want to just kind of throw this shit to the fences. Because it's like, at the end of the day, it started out as some bad shit. I get what we tried to do with it, but it don't make no fucking sense. And there's no precedent of any other culture taking an epithet or a slur word and making this shit good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's throw that shit out and let's just not use it. Because in my mind, I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. I'm black. It means so much more to me. What black means to me is more than what they tried to make that word be. And I get it that it's catchy and everybody using it, but fuck that, bro. It made me feel some type of way. So when I hear that song and I hear that hook, I'm like, ooh, come on.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, Jeezy, like, I get it, bro. But proximity to blackness don't mean you are black. And I'm definitely not. I'm part of the camp that just because you in the hood don't make you black. Like there is a diaspora of black people. Like black people are in suburbs, black people are in academics, black people are also in property. But just because you around us don't mean you are part of us. We just associates and we're friends and we're close, but that don't mean use the word. Like, I don't get it. But I don't know. What's your take on it, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like, I'll be honest. So when I was younger, I used the N-word a lot more frequently, like high school, towards the end of high school, pretty much all of college. And then as I've gotten older, I've used it much more infrequently. And now it's to a point where the only time you'll hear me use the N-word is if we are supremely cool. Like if you are like like one of the closest people to me, or if I'm just mad, like super mad. Just like,
so you're using it for real context,
like mad, like super upset, right? So either
you take it back to the original usage, when I use it,
yeah. So either we are in close fellowship,
or we got
a real big gap.
It's a chasm. It's a chasm. Either like this. Or you so far away from me, I'm about to light you up. Like
we in different zip codes.
So to say you're not sure, you will be confused when I use it.
So you got to use your context clues.
Are we cool?
Are we good?
Or damn,
are we good?
Or do you hate me?
Oh my God! But largely, I'm gonna be honest, man. So when I was younger, I was like you in the sense that it was only for Black people to use in any way, shape, or form. Now, for context, I'm from the South.
Okay.
I was born just outside of Atlanta. And so in the South, anybody other than Black people using, definitely with the ER, but even with the A, with the word ending with an A, that is a big no-no. Like, It's just not, from my experience, like, that doesn't slide. That is an on-site offense, right? You know what I'm saying? And
so there's no gray areas.
There's not really a whole lot of gray area. Okay. And, I've had, experiences in college, playing college tennis where where foreigners knew that it was an offensive thing and would say, and would just outright say it to try and play mind games with you. And, they found out you know,
throw a racket over
like,
there.
yeah, like it was a fuck around and find out, and they found out in a lot of situations. But I've also, like, once I moved out here to Cali and to LA in particular, like, I noticed that that word in particular, the term of endearment, the colloquialism of it was, like, really
the GGA one.
Yeah, the GGA one was very, very much so a part of the lexicon of non-black culture, non-black culture outside of white culture. And so I feel like on the white culture side of things, it's like they're just gonna rap all the lyrics at home. You know what I'm saying? Right. They gonna say it verbatim at home and in a safe space, right? And around friends that, you know, that look like them, where they can kind of say it in a safe space. But I also noticed, you know, but what I really noticed was that a lot of non-black people, i.e. Hispanic, Asian, whatever, were using it the same way we used it, as a term of endearment. And I'll never forget, I was at a party while I was in grad school, and there were, I mean, it was predominantly you know, a Latin crowd or whatnot, and that word was just being thrown around like crazy. And this was early in my journey being here in Cali, so I was like starting to feel myself like want to say something, but then I was like, hold up, I gotta check myself.
The hill I'm trying to
exactly. Am I trying? Is this really?
It's like,
is this a safe thing for me to do at this point? And so I was like, you know what? It ain't that serious. And so I think from that point on, I haven't been super pressed about non-black communities and cultures using that word.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like, I think it really just speaks to the regional differences in how that word is received and how that word is used and who is allowed to use it. I think in all situations, I think across the board, we can all say definitively, white people can't use that word. If you're considered white, if you identify as white, don't put it in your mouth, and definitely don't put it in your mouth in public, because you liable to get, you know, you liable to catch that white lawn chair
exactly
if you do it. But then there's this nuance and this gray area as it relates to non-black minoritized communities with this word, especially here on the West Coast. So that's what I wanted to ask you, because I've kind of established what the ground rules are for the South, so to speak, based on my experience. Like, did you experience other, like, non-black communities using this throughout your childhood, or like so it sounds like this is more of a West Coast culture thing.
It's like and for us, it's a West Coast low income thing. So like I think this is where I think we were talking offline about it. Like, to give context, like in the South, you have big populations of black people, but they are in different demographic and economic statuses. So you got your poor blacks, you got your gangbanging blacks, you got your educated blacks, you got your professional blacks. You just got all these different black folks.
Wealthy blacks too.
So just because you're in proximity to any of these groups, you don't feel compelled to identify with that group. Now, you fast forward to the West Coast, we do have our affluent black areas, but we always be like the minority in that group. Where you do have large concentrations of black folks, you also have other concentrations of others, and we're all in poverty. So this commonality of this circumstantial thing make you want to identify as one, but what the one they identify with is the one who has the most social cred. And on the West Coast, even though we poor, black people make that poor shit look lit. And I gotta give credit to motherfucking Deontay Kyle, because he was like, we trying to get rid of this making poor shit look, just we buying this poor shit. So you can't talk about being black ain't being poor. We got money, we got education, we fine now. So just because you in proximity to me don't mean you are part of my group.
Yeah.
And I think that only happens over here on the West Coast, where Cambodians that are also in the poor neighborhood with the black folk feel like they can use the N-word too, because they run all together. Latino folks in the poor area that we all together, we can run together now, we can all use the N-word. And in the music at the same time, the West Coast is heavy N-word driven.
Correct.
Got Kendrick, everybody that's popularly saying it, and everybody identifies this music, and they don't see color because they don't want to see color. It makes it very murky and gray. And I feel like as you just honestly just read more, you get more of a historical context and understand this word is derogatory. That's where it started from. Black folks have always tried to make the best out of something. You give us chitlins, we're going to make a dinner out of it. You give us only the tail of the fucking cow, we're going to make oxtails. And this is a different circumstance where I think we've taken something that was supposed to be bad and now we're trying to make it fun and other people want to be part of that fun. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm part of the camp. Like, I get what we're trying to do, but you can't polish a turd.
Yeah,
if it was a weapon of harm to begin with, there's no way you can make this into a weapon of endearment without there being some creep over. And since you can't point to any other oppressed group that was able to take the words that were used against them and now they all call at each other that, then it just obviously you should just stay away from it. And especially where you got like major figures that, you know, you guys talk, some people get passes. Oh, you got a black card pass, or you might be able to say the N-word here and there. If I had to point to any person out there, celebrity or whatever, I feel like Eminem would be one that people probably wouldn't trip if he said the N-word, but you can see that he conscientiously never used it.
Yeah.
In public. Now, he might have used it in Detroit with them homies and shit off camera, and his homies are so close, they ain't never gonna out him on it. But to me, it's because he's cerebral. He know the historical context of that word, being from Detroit and knowing what the fuck black folk went through. Why would I do that if I respect this culture? You can tell he respects the culture. And I'm like, for other folks, I just feel like either they just don't know the context, and that could be it. Because, I mean, they just ain't told him, well, I don't know if they're reading Huckleberry Finn no more, and he use N-word Jim, you know?
Yeah, right.
I mean, maybe they just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it really has, I think it gets back to the point you made earlier about whenever we as black people do something, it pops.
Yeah.
Whether it's in a bad situation, good situation, or indifferent, whatever we do, the needle moves. And when we do it, the needle moves a lot, right? Yeah. Like we talk about fashion. I mean, I literally saw something a couple weeks ago on IG about how Louis and Gucci and all of these luxury brands have literally basically just stolen prints from African tribes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so in music, fashion, food, entertainment, everything we do, whether we get credit for it or not, we are at the forefront of just about everything. If it's about innovation, we doing it. We don't get the credit for it. We typically end up getting,
we catch the bad shit of it.
Like
a law get created to arrest your ass,
right?
Or debar you from getting a job based on it before you get credit for creating it.
Correct. And because we are in a place in our world where we are actively trying to rewrite and retell certain aspects of our history as opposed to acknowledging and reckoning with the fact that like we enslaved millions of people for hundreds of years. These are the consequences of those things. Now, again, I'm on the side of I ain't really pressed. You know what I'm saying? Like if you feel like you need to use that word and you're non-black and not white, then whatever. Fine. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's how you want to present to the world, be my guest. But I think to your point, understand that when you're using that word, that word has impact.
Yes.
And your intention as trying to identify with or be adjacent to or leverage the weight and the trauma of that word into your own success or into your own fame or whatever, just understand that there is a weight and there are consequences to that. And you might say it in the wrong group of people one day and you might catch that fade.
You might get checked.
And so if you're willing to take that risk, take that risk. Swing away, homeboy, or swing away, homegirl. But just understand that there is a cultural and a historical significance to that word that still hurts a lot of people and is offensive to a lot of people. So just be aware how you moving and shaking out there.
Hey, I agree with you 100%. But I'm still a hardliner.
You're a hardliner on like nobody should say it.
Nobody said
it. Should be erased from the lexicon. But I understand that.
If you around me, you know that I wouldn't check a black person. If a black person saying it, it's just like, okay, I guess they this is their word. They want to say it. I personally wouldn't do it, but I'm not going to call you out on it.
Right.
But on the other end of it, if you ain't black and you saying that shit, you liable me having to switch my fucking Dr. Umar hat on your ass real quick and just start going at you like, you gonna start hearing a bunch of shit you want to hear, historical context, where it started from, what the word usage of it, who was using it, what was the current state of America when they was using it.
Right.
Like, you might have to hear a conversation you don't want to hear. Right. And it's most likely gonna be in a situation where you're like, damn, why are we having this conversation in the bar? Because it is what it is. Like,
this is my last word on this. And we talked about this in our previous episode, or I brought this up in our previous episode. This is why it is so important for us as a country and a world to tell the history as it happened.
Yeah.
And not try to tell the history that makes me feel good, that makes me feel comfortable, that allows me to sleep at night. Let's tell the history as it happened, and let's trust humanity enough that they will be able to take that information and hopefully deal with and reconcile their part or their ancestors' part in it, whatever side they were on, and let's move forward as a human race, and let's really try, because I think this is one of the things that's holding us back. You know, there's a subset of people that are out here saying like, no, we never did anything bad. In fact, we were all good. See what we did for this country? We made it free. We allowed this to happen, and we let this happen, and we're a democracy, and we're democratic, but we're not really acknowledging how we got there. We're not telling the whole story of how we got there. And until we do that, I don't know that we are going to be able to get to a place where no one says that word, where it gets erased from our lexicon, because it's still causing that on some level, it's causing that divisiveness.
And it's just getting blurrier by the day. It's just getting very more murky, and it's just one of them, like you said, do I want to die on this hill trying to explain this shit?
Because it's way bigger fish to fry in the grand scheme of things as it relates to moving black people forward and the black community and black culture forward.
Yeah.
And so you do have to make a business decision, unfortunately, but it's unfortunate that we have to make that decision as black people.
Yeah, but I like that. That's a good note to end on, because you said we got bigger fish to fry and we got business. So let's see if we got a little bonus round.
Yeah, we got a little bonus round.
So let's talk about the Target boycott.
Boycott.
It's been successful. Like, according to like stats, they saying that like Target lost $14 billion in market value just from black folks not fucking with it. And I'm like, damn, they say it's been like the most successful boycott since like the 70s or some shit like that.
Yeah, I heard the CEO.
The reverend that, I guess, that started it. Yeah, it was a reverend that started in the South. Remember that first?
Yeah, out of Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But I bring this up because I like I got a Target confession. That's just what I want to make. Like, my boy Chinadu started it, so I got to give credit to my boy. He admitted that he had to step in Target and buy something for his dad. And like the joke that he gave was that like it's the only thing, it was last minute, I'm already running late. Target's the closest thing. I'm gonna get a car for my dad. He said, I go up in there and I see 2 other black people. And he said, I'm bold. I'm gonna go up to him and be like, yo, what are you doing here? And look at me like, what are you doing here? And he said, well, I'm in here stealing. So I hope your ass is too. And I love that fucking joke. And I think it's fucking hilarious. But I also got a Target confession because like, I also been up in that bitch.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I've been up in Target.
So, okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
All right. So, since the start of 2025, which is really when it popped off.
One time I've been in there.
Okay. I was just about to say, how many times?
One time. And I think I had to. I ain't been working right now. This is my insurance was gonna run out, my vision insurance. So, and I got this little healthcare spending card. I gotta use the money on that shit. And Target, only place that will take prescription for the Ray-Ban Metas. I got a pair of those. I ain't got them on right now. But them shits are expensive as fuck. I ain't trying to pay out of pocket for that shit. Shit like $700 when you did.
Not for the culture, bro. You ain't trying to pay out of pocket for the culture.
Yeah, I said, look, Target gonna get this $26. When everything was said and done, they got $26 out of pocket for me. So in my mind, shit, when you in hell, that drop of water ain't gonna do shit. They lost $14 billion. My $26 that I gave them in the year of 2025 didn't save nobody. So I confess, yes, I was in Target and got me some Meta glasses. But I didn't pay for them directly, and they only got $26. So, condemn me if you want. But,
So
but as far as 99% of the rest of the year, I ain't been in that motherfucker.
Okay.
So I've been
you
part
are
of the Target troop.
You all right. So me personally, I haven't been to Target. I don't remember the last time I went to Target, bro.
It's been hard, huh?
No, I mean, not really though.
See, I'm hard in Target.
Not
that
really,
was like
bro.
my grocery spot.
Not really, man. Cause shoot, like we got two grocery stores super close to us. It's actually closer than Target. So both grocery stores are closer than Target. So it's like, so it's not even a convenience thing. Or that part is about convenience, obviously. But yeah, man, I'll be honest with you. I heard about, obviously, like when Target initially came out and said that they were rolling back their DEI stuff. I was like, dang, that's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, like I wasn't really like I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really a huge Target shopper to begin with. Like there have been times where I would specifically go to Target, and typically when I was going to Target, it was to support other Black creators, like to buy like Hilton Carter series or to buy Message in a Bottle, like those types of like. I was going there specifically to support Black entrepreneurs and Black creators, essentially, right? Or Justina Blakely. So it wasn't really no skin off my back. Like I guess I was already practicing and didn't know I needed to be practicing, and so it's been cool for me. But I will say, like again, this just speaks to the power of the Black community.
Oh yeah.
When we come together and when we make a decision and when we are fed up as a people and we say, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. We really won't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like we shut down the Montgomery bus. The whole operation, we shut it down, bro.
The whole year, they created the very first Uber situation.
Yep,
apparently.
in the 60s, we shut it down.
I know that was Uber back then. They still had to get to work. So.
And I think really what this situation speaks to is just how much pride in a good way that Black people as a community have. We are willing to do because our lives in some way or another have been uncomfortable. And we've, in a lot of situations, have been the only one in the room, especially as you climb ladders, right? I think we are much more equipped to go without because for much of our history, our ancestors
100%.
went without. Just my grandmother, I remember the day the cable popped off or it cut off in our house as a kid. Like we had to make sacrifices, and as Black people, we have been making sacrifices from the moment those ships brought us across the Atlantic and dropped us off here. And so I think it is not to say that it is easy, but it is easier for us to say, you know what, I don't need that. I'll do the inconvenient thing so that we can move forward.
Yeah.
And I think that, for me, that's the takeaway on the Target DEI stuff.
I agree 100% with you, bro. Like, I just think it's a beautiful thing. My mind's like, what's the next?
Here for it.
What's the next one?
What do we parlay this into?
But I just think some of the other ones might be harder. Like, I think people got bigger addictions to Amazon and Walmart.
Yeah,
boy.
right. Step
away from them shit.
Yeah. Amazon is a different beat. Well,
Target
we put a pin in Amazon.
People be like, wait, hold on. Target is Amazon? Like, I think it'd be too much. Walmart? Yeah. Like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, but I do think like us starting with Target, that's a great place. Also, like Costco been just like leveling up in aura.
The exact opposite. So we're gonna double down on ours.
Same thing with Apple. Apple doubled down on keeping their DEI. Like overwhelmingly, their shareholders overwhelmingly voted no on rolling it back. Mm-hmm. So there are companies out here that, I mean, let's call a spade. Most of these Fortune 500 companies on some, like, in everything that is used or to move diversity, equity, and inclusion forward, I just build in that 20% of it is performative. Like, at least 20% of it, maybe 25% of it is performative.
Yeah.
But you have an opportunity as a company to earn that 25% back based on how you move forward. And so far, Costco, Apple, I'm sure there's some other major companies out there that aren't rolling back their DEI. They're slowly earning back towards 100% of really being invested in this type of work. And so that's kind of how I think about it.
I wish I could remember that the acronym they came up with for DEI. It's like, this is their DEI. It was like, don't even
don't even invest.
Like, it was something funny as fuck. Like, because shit just keep going left. And I was like, yeah, this is hilarious. Like,
yeah. So that is our episode for today. Y'all go out and like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Let us know how y'all feel about the episode. And yeah, we'll see y'all next time. And with that being said, Ayati,
stay casual.